Since a very young age, I wanted to be a priest. I come from a very devout Catholic family in Mexico, going to church every day, our church being next door to our house. Church for me was like a second home.
I always had this desire to want to serve and make a difference. I followed in my father's footsteps and my brother and sister. I had the honor of serving as a Los Angeles County Deputy Sheriff and a police officer with the Los Angeles Police Department.
Since I was 3 years old, I used to play being a priest. I knew the priest part of the Mass by heart. I had a green poncho, I would put it on, that was my chasuble. I would play with cookies, with waffles, with a glass of wine or sometimes juice, and that was my chalice.
When I was working on the streets, especially in South LA, and a lot of that struggle between good and evil, I would find myself going to daily Mass, spending time in front of the Blessed Sacrament. It was in that quiet time that I just felt this deeper call. Answering the radio calls was one thing, but the spiritual call from God was really important. And so I walked away from my career and I went to St. John's Seminary.
The desire to be a priest was there. Nevertheless, it will be until my first year at St. John's that something clicked.
St. John's Seminary was formed, as all seminaries are, to train men to follow in the footsteps of Jesus and be of service to the people of their time and age. Wonderfully, Juan Camarillo had that same vision, and so he donated 100 acres of land, prime land in Camarillo. He only had one request: name the seminary after his patron saint, St. John the Evangelist. The same vision was the vision of Bishop Cantwell. In 1938, ground was broken, construction began, and on September 12th, 1939, 67 students began St. John's Seminary. 80 years since then, more than 1,200 priests have been ordained from St. John's. That includes, amazingly, 3 cardinals, an archbishop, many bishops. Millions of people have come to know Jesus here in Southern California and many other places as well. So we've been blessed and we're grateful.
My time at St. John's, I came to realize the formation, it was not so much about preparing me to be a priest. Formation first has to be about me. Being a priest is not just a career. Being a priest is a lifestyle, and it's an identity to be conformed to the person of Jesus Christ.
Formation is key to the development of good priests that we need in our parishes. And at St. John's Seminary, our faculty, who are unrivaled in my opinion, are focusing very heavily on the 4 aspects of priestly ministry: the human, the intellectual, the spiritual, and the pastoral.
All aspects are touched upon throughout formation. And I think you can see the product in the Archdiocese.
St. John's Seminary gave me a great gift. It was my spiritual home. It was a place of spiritual growth, academically challenging.
It's exciting to see the seminarians that are being formed, because you see them in the classroom and you can see those aha moments. Perhaps it's questions that they had in the back of their minds. That's doing something to them. That's forming them.
The faculty here are exceptional. We have a number of brilliant faculty members here. I'm not one of them. I don't rise to that level. This is a faculty that's not only smart and world class, but also people of faith who are interested in listening to the Word of God and listening to one another to make the best decisions for these men.
It really is a brotherhood here. We're different people with different life experiences, our different personalities.
People who are journeying in the same path that I am, and being able to relate with them, talk with them, and help each other out on struggles, I think that's the most beautiful part of being here at St. John's.
Seminary is a seed bed. We want to nurture that seed of their vocation, water it, and give it the nourishment that it needs, and hopefully, if it's meant to be, it will flourish.
Today, seminary formation includes a whole lot of field education, which sends men who are preparing to be priests into the real world.
whether it's hospital ministry or religious education of children or young adults or high school students.
One of the best parts about my formation at St. John's was my internship. I really fell in love with the ministry, with the parish, with the lifestyle at the priesthood during ministry.
The internship was probably the most crucial time in the seminary formation for me because it was real life.
Journeying with the people, learning about their lives, and walking with them in the happy times and also the sad times was great on my formation as a seminarian, as a future priest.
We're not just sending guys to be volunteers in parishes. As they are engaging in ministry, they are thinking theologically.
Today, I think men come out of the seminary ready to serve because of that field education that's given to them.
I believe that equally important as the man that we see in Mass is the man that we see out in the community, dealing with real life issues. We are living in an increasingly divided world, and having these men who are on fire out there with their love and their ability to bring us together is important more now, I think, than ever.
For the future, what's exciting is the fact that the seminary has been able to adjust, to change, but still can form holy, caring, compassionate men for the priesthood.
I am absolutely filled with hope at the future of St. John's Seminary because it is filled, and I know each and every one of these men who are there, and I am absolutely convinced they're called by God.
My greatest hope is that St. John's Seminary is able to form priests that are rooted in the past while reflective of the needs of the present and the future.
Celebrating the 80th anniversary is a blessing. What is important is what we keep doing. This is the heart of the future church, the heart of the future priests.
The seminary is all of ours because all of us are going to be affected by the quality of men that come out of there and serve our communities as priests.
To be a follower of Jesus is an adventure because you don't know where it's going to take you, you don't know where you are going to go. Even if we don't see it, God is always working. And that is God who is leading the church. This is a moment of transformation, but because of our trust in God, because of our faith in God, we recognize that the church will be much better in the future.